It is English for sure. They do have some different words. And the accent definitely differs from city to city, like big city to big city. Like I started in Glasgow and Edinburgh, and they're only about 45 minutes apart, but there's a distinct difference. Their accent, very distinct. And they even use different words in two different cities. I hope I get this right, but like for a baby in Glasgow, they'd call babies weans, like weans, and then in Edinburgh they'd call it bairns, like oh my bairn. And that's another thing. When I first got my call, I have a sister-in-law she's from England, so she knows about Scotland. And I read my call. I was like, "Oh, I'm going to go to Edinburgh," and she's like, "No, never say that again, because that's not how you say it." I was like, "Oh, it's Edinburgh." So Edinburgh. They also roll their R's in Scotland a lot. That's just part of the way they speak English, I guess. And but yeah, like for example, another word. Not everyone says this, but instead of no, they'll say ken. Like for I don't know, they'll say I dunny ken. And so like I dunny ken what you're saying. My accent's not very good, but I like to pretend sometimes. I'm trying to think of what other words they use. Like in Glasgow, for example, a lot of times they won't say hi. People in the street are like, "All right," so like, "All right, big man," and that's how they'll get your attention. Let's kind of wave at you and say stuff like that. And yeah, they talk really fast sometimes, and you just got to get used to it. For example, lake. They don't say lake; they say loch. So you've heard like Loch Lomond or Loch Ness. Those are just lakes. That's what loch means. What else is there? There's a lot of words that are British as opposed to American. Like they don't say the trunk of a car; they'll say the boot of a car. Or they don't pronounce it garage; they say garage. There's some other. They spell things differently too. I thought it was funny that instead of spelling tire T-I-R-E, they spell it T-Y-R-E. So the tires of a car, T-Y-R-E. It's mostly similar. It's just getting used to how they say things, and a lot of times, like the more people watch like American movies, or their accents won't be as thick, or the more they work around people from, because it's also like a melting pot, like I said, like people from Aberdeen and move down to Glasgow, and so they'll work with people from Glasgow, and their accents will kind of start to mimic each other a little bit. But there are some people you'll meet, especially like just the common Joe Schmo on the street. You know, his accent can be really thick sometimes, and it's just old people too. Their accents can be really thick, and you just gotta really listen. Sometimes I have to say it again, but by the end, you know, you get really used to it. It's kind of funny sometimes, especially in Edinburgh. It's a big touristy city. You know, sometimes we hear Americans who are there, and my companions and I would just kind of cringe and just like, oh, they sound terrible, but we don't miss that. But